Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, so today I am here to tell you that we need to start watching out for Trevenant again. Now, we all know about the Psychic-type Trevenant and Trevenant Break, which haunted us for years and still does and expanded. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is a new Trevenant, a Grass Trevenant, and it looks pretty gosh darn good. Now, first of all, we got a Grass Phantom. Now, I'm going to do a little video about him and his impact in a day or two, but the most important thing is Forest of Giant Plants. Forest of Giant Plants says that the Pokemon from which you evolve must be a grass, and then you can evolve whenever you want. So it's not the Grass Trevenant we're really worried about for Forest of Giant Plants, it's the Grass Phantom. It means that we can evolve up whenever we feel like it. Now, we have got another Phantom that's got Ascension, just for one colourless energy, allows you to search for a Trevenant and evolve. Don't use it. You don't need it. Just use the Grass Phantom. Speaking of cards not to use, and I've done a video about this, so check it out in the description. Recently announced Ether Paradise Conservation Area reduces damage done to grass Pokemon by 30. Yet we've got Forest of Giant Plants, that's far more important. Now, Trevenant being a grass Pokemon is weak to fire, which is a slight problem. As I've said in a couple videos recently, Decidueye has been on the rise lately, which means a lot of people are going to be playing fire decks like Volcanion to try and counter Decidueye, and they will end up countering Trevenant as well. Second attack, very underwhelming, 2 grass and a colourless, 90 damage, heal 30. Not only is it very underwhelming, but if it was double colourless, single grass, then we could just add on a grass if we didn't want to use the first attack, but we can't. That's annoying, but it's alright, because the first attack is Poltergeist. Your opponent reveals his or her hand. This attack does 30 damage times the number of trainer cards in your opponent's hand. Now, that's very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, because if it said items, it would only be items, but it's trainer, which includes stadiums and supporter cards. Now, we have seen this attack before on this Gengar and this Miss Magius, and this is a very, very good attack because it means that your opponent, basically, every time they keep any kind of resource in their hand other than Pokemon or energy, are going to be increasing the amount of damage that you do. And let's not forget that this attack can be done for just a double colourless energy. And if we look at the old Gengar and the old Miss Magius, it was a colourless and a psychic energy, which was much more awkward. So, Forest of Giant Plants allows you to evolve up straight away, and just for a double colourless energy, 30 times all the items and supporters and stadium cards in your opponent's hand. Go and look at any good deck list and count up the amount of all of them in everyone's deck. It's a lot. Now, the obvious partner here, the clear partner, is Vileplume, because you use Forest of Giant Plants to evolve Vileplume up straight away and evolve Trevenant up straight away, and as early as turn 1, you can just be item locking your opponent while you sit there and do a whole bunch of damage. This is utterly brilliant. Now, there is another really good partner here, of course, and that's Gumshoe's GX. Because Gumshoe's GX allows you to search the premises, his ability, which means you can look at your opponent's hand and you know exactly how much damage you will be doing with Poltergeist. Now, the big problem here is that Trevenant's other attack is not good, which means that it's not like you're choosing between attacks here. You're unlikely to have 2 grass and another energy on Trevenant, but maybe you're playing some other attacker here. I mean, Trevenant has a retreat cost of 2, so if you've got a double colourless on Trevenant, you can retreat for just that double colourless energy. Maybe you retreat into something like a Lugia EX, or a Tapu Lele, or a Tauros GX, and if you're going to get the KO with Trevenant, you attack with Trevenant. If not, you attack with something like Tapu Lele. That could be quite a lot of fun. Retreat cost of 2 is a pain. Maybe you can try and use something like Floatstone before you get Vileplume out. But let's make no mistake about this, ladies and gentlemen. You can evolve Vileplume up straight away with Forest of Giant Plants. You can evolve Trevenant up straight away with Forest of Giant Plants. You're attacking for a single energy attachment, and then not only are you stopping your opponent using item cards, but you're then punishing your opponent for not using item cards. And also it means that they're going to have to play their stadiums or add 30 damage if they can't. They're going to have to play their supporters or add 30 damage if they can't. It's really, really nice. But the one big important question here, is it better than Decidueye? Because at the moment, everybody's playing Decidueye Vileplume, and certainly the Oceanic International Championship down in Australia is full of Decidueye Vileplume. So the big question is it worth playing this over Decidueye? Now, you don't have to choose. You can play them both. But a Stage 2 Vileplume and Stage 2 Decidueye and Stage 1 Trevenant might be getting a little bit awkward. You know what? It's at least got to be worth a test. I'm giving this between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. I'm not sure that this is better than Vileplume Decidueye, but I do know that it's going to be a much cheaper deck. For newer players or players on a budget, this is going to be a much better option than Decidueye. And I do know that it's got a chance to be better, because you're running a Stage 1 rather than a Stage 2. So you know what? It's got to at least be worth a test. Now, you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. There is a comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. There are buttons to both like this video and subscribe to this channel. I would very much be delighted if you would use them both. And you can follow me on Twitter @TheWassie. The most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.